Okay. So you guys do have homework. It's different from usual. It says to find junk mail with credit card offers for your research project. So let me just put on here that this is actually going to be extra credit in your project. No, it's extra credit in your project. Your project is worth 100 points, but if you can bring in junk mail, it'll help you. So, but what I don't want is anything with your parents or anybody's personal information on it. So I'll just take an envelope, or sometimes they send like little paper cards that are fake credit cards, or just the letter that talks about the interest rate, like anything. But you could cut out your parents or your guardian's name and their like personal info. Okay, so if you don't get junk mail, that's okay. This is just extra credit if you can find junk mail somewhere. If there's there's not typically credit card stuff in this. It's about credit cards, like anything in the mail about credit cards. Okay, so our goal today, write the goal down for your Belver. Our goal today is to understand credit card interest rates. So you're going to start a project today. I'm going to give you class today and class Monday to work on it. I'm hoping we can finish it by the end of class Monday. I've never done this project before. It's the first year, so we'll see how it goes. I think, if we do it in class step by step, it'll be okay. If you want to spend some time outside of class working on it, that's great too. So before I give you the handout and talk to you about exactly what your project is, let me just go over last night's homework. So open your workbooks to page 93. I think I did number 2 with y'all.
No, bro. Me and everyone were trying to eat, and we were like wanting to bring lunch. I know. I was here. Yeah, but if you have lunch with like. Oh, you already know my kind of food. With the Capri Sun. Exactly. Jeez, man. You're always hating on our game plan. Okay, do it.
Yeah, I do want to look at the I do want to look at 4. I actually have the table started here. So if you guys want to try 4. 4 is the most complicated equation. It has a number in front and then it has a +1 at the end. So it's got the most going on with it. So of all the equations, 4 has the most going on. It's got multiplication in front and addition at the end. So here's how you should go about it. The 4 in front you kind of ignore. And you do the exponent first. So it's the same table. When I put -2 in here, I'm going to evaluate that first. 2 to the -2 is 1/4. We talked about that a few times. 4 times 1/4 is 4/4. So that's 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So here's your first order pair. Do it again. You plug -1 in. Do the exponent first. 2 to the -1 is 1/2. 4 times 1/2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Alright? So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1/2 is 2. 4/2 is 2. Alright, so just take it step by step. Who's got questions on the homework, the graphing? All right, let's go over what your expectations are for your project. All right, so when you go to Schoology, you go to our course. Here's the week we've been working on. Week 3, here are the dates. Today's the 28th, so I put it in that folder. This, by the way, is everything we've done this week. This is every handout I've gone over. This is the videos from class. And right here in the orange folder is the credit card project. Got it all there, guys. So I'm gonna give you a worksheet to fill out. That's what you turn in with all your info. And right now we're gonna talk about the project information. All right, the interesting about credit cards. Damien A, will you read the top paragraph? You don't want to read? Who? Do you want to come up here? Okay. I'm just trying to get you on task.
Credit cards.
Stop.
Credit cards are powerful tools for managing money. However, according to a 2009 study by Sallie Mae, college students have an average of $3,173 of credit card debt. Graduating college seniors enter the workforce with an even higher average of $1,100 in addition to the balanced high annual percentage rate can complicate students' efforts to pay off their debt.
So there's a big argument out there that banks should not give college students credit cards. It's a big argument. One issue is that if you're going to college, you're not really working full time. You're in class. And the other issue is you don't have a credit score yet. Kaylin, put your device away. Does anybody in here know what a credit score is? Can you explain it, you think? Anybody?
It's like to keep track, like how you keep up with your bills and stuff like that.
Yes, they
How you
keep
make
track.
payments.
They keep so every adult in
Like if you late on
America.
payments early.
Boston, did you know this? Every adult in America has a credit score, and it's tied to your name, and it's based on the history you have of making payments. So if you make your payment every month, and you have an income, you have a high credit score. If you miss some payments, your credit score goes down. And the credit score is important because if you go to get a loan, you want a new car, they check your credit. If your credit's not good, they charge you a lot of money. They're going to give you money, but they're going to charge you a lot for it because you're not a reliable customer. So if I make all my payments and I have a high, does anybody know what's considered a high credit score? 700 is around the 700s is a high credit score. So if I go to get a car and I have a 700 credit score, they might give me money for that car with a low interest rate, like 5%. They'll give me all the money and I have to just pay back 5% of it. But if I go in there with a low credit score, like a 600 or even lower than that, they're going to give me the money, but I have to pay back 25% of that money. Okay? So it really pays off to have a good credit score. And the only way to do it is to start making payments on something. So you can start getting a credit score around 16, I think. Like you get a phone bill in your name and you pay it, and they'll start tracking that you've paid your bill. But you can't get a credit card until you're 18. Does anybody have any questions about credit scores? So when you apply for a credit card, what determines your interest rate is how old you are, how much money you make, and what your credit score is. Okay? And then they tell you, okay, I'll give you a credit card for this much money, and I'm going to charge you this percent for it. And you're hoping to get a low charge. So this trend that students are graduating college owing money to their credit cards, and they also have student loans, concerns people. Like people are starting their lives off already in debt. So that's why it's like in the media.
And pursue their dream job,
Hopefully they get a job with a good enough salary to pay off their debt, and they're responsible in doing that. So that job has to be available to them, right? Okay, so in this project, you'll investigate the effect of compound interest on the balance of a credit card, and then you'll think about a strategy of how you're going to use your first credit card. So I'm going to give you a worksheet, and you're going to have to answer some of these questions. You're going to do research on the internet, research some basic facts about credit cards, how they work, how do you make payments, some pros and cons, and explore ways to get a credit card so you know how to do it. Can somebody, a volunteer, read this one that says select? Maybe Lawson? You're looking at it? Who wants to do it? Truly, will you do it? No? Lawson, you do it. Go ahead, Lawson. Okay, Terry. So, yeah. Okay, so I don't really want your family members' information, but you can bring in, like I said, just envelopes or whatever. So we're really going to use the internet. But I looked this up because this project was put out by your textbook like 10 years ago. So I looked up, is this accurate? Is a credit card right now for a college student between 13 and 17%? And that's accurate. So the data is still good there. So you have to research, you have to find a bank that's offering a credit card lower than that, lower than 13, and a bank that's offering a credit card higher than that. And then you're going to do calculations with it. You're allowed to work with one partner. So you may want to work alone. Sometimes things go better alone, but you can work with one partner. All right, you guys, so I'm going to pass out the handout. The handout you write on and you fill it out, okay? And then I'll give you some guidelines. So you can open your Chromebook. No, I got it. Thank you. You're gonna start the work.
Oh. Wait, so this is a project?
This is real research. It's an actual research project. You need to cite the websites you use. So we can work with someone? You can work with one person. In this class period. This class period. This is
smart.
This is 100 points. This is a test grade. It's a 300-point test grade.
Who's got more than a 2.5
It's a lot of work,
GPA?
though.
You actually, or you just like dumb? You smart.
You get up.
You know how to do this? I bet. But Evan's gonna be so lonely when he comes back. When's this done? When's this supposed to be due?
Hopefully the end of class Monday, or if it seems like we need more time, I'll work on it too.
I'll just give you the answers.
You guys be on task. If you guys are off task, I'm gonna be like, this is due after the weekend. It's 100 points. So don't be off task. Hopefully the end of class Monday. Yeah, let me just tell you this. You cannot. 3 people. You guys can sit by each other and help you, but you need to be like separate groups. Try to get through 1 through 6, okay? Today. Well, no, you're not gonna finish 6. Just begin 6. Try to do 1. No. Yes, that's your handout. You need to cite the websites you use at the end of class. Okay, you're using class today. And then a 0, it's like a 0 test grade. It's 100 points. So you don't come back from it. Cite the websites you use. Do not use Wikipedia. And do not use Investopedia. It's actually decent. Like, I don't like read about it. You can well, it's just not anybody can go in and edit it. So it's not like reliable. You can use Google. Yeah, you can use Google. Do you know how it changes its compounded monthly? It was in the workbook. We put it in notes. What does it mean to be compounded monthly? It's under me. You have Chromebooks. You shouldn't have phones out. So what number are you on? Keep going. What are you doing?
I got the app on my phone.
Oh, you do? I got mine. You know where it says what website it is? Yeah. I got my. How do you hide? So I wrote the formula. That's the one that we were the exponential growth. But you have to look into your notes, look at your workbook. What does it mean to be compounded monthly? No, it says to write an equation. So, in reality, credit card interest is compounded daily. They charge you interest every day, which matters if you make a late payment. Well, so these days, credit cards sometimes give you rewards. So if you use a credit card well, the bank will give you a reward, and sometimes they give you 5% cash back on anything spent at a gas station. Or they'll give you 5% cash back on anything spent at a grocery store. So you can get rewards from credit cards. Yeah. The exact question is, well, why are you using a credit card in the first place? Like, if you're using you're going into debt. Like if you have the money, let's say you want to buy like a new car stereo, just use the money in your bank account. Yeah. If you're going to buy it, or maybe you just want to buy Christmas presents for your family, and you don't have the money, you put it on a credit card. What makes you think you're going to have the money for those presents next month or the month after? Like if you don't have the money right now, how are you going to have the money in the future? Because you might not get paid that week or anything like that. Right. So some people think, oh, it'll be okay. I'll have more money in the future. I'll tighten up or I'll save but normally you don't. You just end up in more debt. So the con of using credit cards is that you end up in debt. You gotta pay it back over time with interest. No, I'm gonna help everybody at the same time. I know. I'm on number 5. This is a formula we covered while you were out. All right, I'm going to do 5 and start number 6 with you. So we talked about when something is compounded monthly, that affects the rate and the time. So how many months are in a year? Lawson, how many months are in a year? So we're going to put 12 here. We're going to divide our rate by 12. And we're going to multiply our time by 12. Since it's compounded monthly. So what do we have to be really? Everyone's making this mistake. What is the rate? It says typical college freshmen get this rate. What's the rate they say? It's 13.9. And what did I tell you have to do with interest rates? You gotta move the decimal 2 places. Okay. So in your formula for rate, you're gonna put 0.1399. So I'm gonna help you simplify this. Let's divide in our calculators. Kiki, you got your calculator? Let's do 0.1399 divided by 12. And I'm going to help you round that so everybody has the same number. So it's 6, it goes 1165, right? So I'm gonna round that 6 to a 7. And this is your answer for, you have to show this work, but this is your simplified answer for number 5. This is the equation you're going to use for all of the calculations in number 6. This is your answer for number 5, but you have to show the work. Both of these are required to get credit. Let's say go on to number 6. Larson, you're the one that's always like, well, how am I going to use this in real life? This is real life. Yeah. You inspired this project. You inspired this project. Yeah, there are websites that do the math for you. What is that? So the websites, you put in how much you spent, you put in the interest rate, and then you put in how long you want to pay it off, and it'll calculate everything for you, your payment. So there are websites that help you with this. Number 6, you gotta show the work for. Siri, be quiet. Okay, but I'm gonna do a calculation now to help you with your project. All right, number 6. All right, so you guys, if I see you on your phone, I'm taking 5% off. It's a 100-point project. If you're off task, if you're having an off task conversation, I'm just dropping you 5% every time I have to say your name. Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna calculate all of these: 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 6, 8, 10, and 20 years. So this is how you do it. I'm just gonna do year 1 for you. It says you immediately charge $1,000. That's for books. You got to pay for books when you go to college. They don't give them to you. It'll come to about $1,000. Books and supplies, yeah. So we're doing 1 plus point. So instead of doing 1 plus, why don't we go ahead and write this as 1.0117. And we're supposed to do the number of years times 12. So for 1 year, we're just going to do 1 times 12. So the first thing I do in my calculator is exponents. So I'm going to do exponents first. So this is why you guys have a calculator today. We're going to do 1.0117 to the 12th power. And then multiply that by 1,000. I gave you guys 15 warnings. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your honesty. All right, so you get a huge decimal when you do 0.0117 to the 12th. I'm going to keep that decimal in my calculator, and I'm going to hit times 1,000. And I want your answers to be rounded to money, so round cents. Yeah, let me just move real quick. So it's 1149.80. So the calculation that you have to show on your project is this. After 1 year, if you don't make any payments, you're going to owe $1,149.80. So your first year, you just incurred about $150 worth worth of interest.
I'm just about to use my friend.
All right, if your number's not coming out, like put this in your calculator until you get the right number. Because you're gonna have to calculate all of these. So if you can't figure out how to get the right number in your calculator, now's your chance to ask for help. Yeah. Is it this thing? It's not my calculator. Bring me my calculator.